You know that feeling, the quiet tension of always waiting for something to go wrong, always preparing for the fallout, rehearsing worst-case scenarios, carrying a kind of invisible armor because life has taught you to expect impact. But here's the truth no one ever told you. You weren't meant to live braced for disaster. Stoicism doesn't ask you to pretend everything is perfect. It teaches you something far more powerful, that you are built to rise, to adapt, to turn every storm into a path forward. When you walk through life as if everything always works out for you, it's not fantasy. It's a posture, a mindset, a decision to trust your strength more than your fear. A reminder that the world doesn't need to be easy for you to be unshakable. Today, we'll dive into 6 Stoic truths that reshape your entire approach to struggle, uncertainty, and pressure, so you can move through life with calm, conviction, and clarity. Comment this to lock in your state of mind. Everything works out for me because I do. Truth 1. You assume everything is figure-out-able. There's a certain kind of power that appears the moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start saying, "I can handle this." That shift alone, small, silent, internal, is the beginning of becoming the kind of person who walks through life as if everything always works out. Not because circumstances magically become easy, but because you stop collapsing at the first sign of difficulty. Most people live in reverse. They believe life must be smooth before they can feel steady. They believe clarity must appear before they can move. They believe fear must disappear before they can act. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Strength is built in motion. Clarity is found in action. Confidence is born from handling what frightens you. And when you assume that everything is figure-out-able, you're no longer a victim of uncertainty. You become a problem solver. Think about the last time something went wrong. A sudden bill, a job rejection, an unexpected ending, a moment where life cracked open beneath your feet. Did you crumble? Or did you figure it out? Somehow, some way, even if it wasn't pretty or perfect, you're still here. Which means you've survived every impossible moment so far. You improvised, you adapted, you endured. That alone proves this truth. You are far more capable than your fear wants you to believe. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it's humanly possible, know that you can do it too." He wasn't romanticizing hardship. He lived in a world of betrayal, war, plague, political chaos. Yet he carried an unwavering belief that whatever confronted him, he could respond with reason, discipline, and inner strength. When you carry that same belief, life stops feeling like an enemy. Challenges stop feeling like personal attacks. Obstacles stop feeling like signs that you're cursed or unlucky. Instead, they become puzzles, steps, gateways, something to work through, not something to fear. Imagine waking up every day with this mindset. It might be hard, it might be messy. I might not know the answer yet, but I will figure it out. This creates a psychological phenomenon called cognitive calm. Your mind stays open, flexible, and alert instead of panicked and scattered. Fear narrows your vision. Belief widens it. Fear shuts down your creativity. Belief unlocks it. Fear makes you freeze. Belief makes you move, and movement is where solutions live. Living as if everything always works out doesn't mean you expect perfection. It means you expect yourself to rise. It means you trust your ability to adapt more than you fear the unknown. It means you see setbacks as temporary, not final. It means you stop treating every challenge like an emergency and start treating it like training. Think of any strong person you admire. Someone stable, composed, grounded. Their life isn't easier than yours. Their mind is stronger than their circumstances. That is what you're building. So here's your Stoic practice for this truth. Whenever something goes wrong, pause and say this sentence, out loud if you can. I don't know how yet, but I can figure this out. Then breathe. Break the problem down into its smallest pieces. Handle one piece, then the next, then the next. Tiny solutions compound into clarity. Clarity compounds into confidence. Confidence compounding over time becomes an unshakable identity. This is the identity you're stepping into. Not someone who avoids problems, but someone who knows, deep in their bones, that every problem has a path forward. And that's the first step to living as if everything always works out. You trust your ability to overcome more than you trust your fear. Nothing breaks me. I'll always figure it out. Truth too. You respond, not react. When you start living as if everything always works out for you, the very first thing that changes is not your luck, not your circumstances, not the world around you. It's your nervous system. You stop reacting to everything like it's a threat, and you begin responding like someone who trusts their ability to handle what's happening. There is a difference between reacting and responding, and the entire Stoic worldview is built on that line. A reaction is immediate. A reaction is emotional. A reaction is survival mode. A reaction comes from fear, ego, insecurity, and the need to defend your sense of self. But a response comes from strength. A response comes from clarity. A response comes from remembering that you control your judgment, your choices, your attitude, and your next step. Epictetus said, "We are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them." Meaning, it's not the event that shakes you. It's the story your mind rushes to tell. Reactivity is that story running ahead of you. Responding is choosing to write the story yourself. Think about how most people move through life. Someone disrespects them, they snap. Someone challenges them, they defend. Someone disappoints them, they spiral. Someone ignores them, they chase validation. Life becomes a constant tug of war between external events and internal chaos. But when you trust that everything works out for you, you stop entering that war. You stop giving every stimulus permission to control your emotional state. You stop handing your peace to every stranger, critic, co-worker, or inconsiderate person who crosses your path. This is what emotional mastery really looks like. Not numbing yourself, not pretending you don't care, but choosing to pause long enough to respond with intention instead of impulse. Picture this. Someone tries to provoke you with a snide comment. Most people fire back, but you pause. Not because you're weak, not because you're intimidated, but because you're in control. That pause alone flips the entire power dynamic. Your silence makes them confront their own behavior. Your calm exposes their chaos. Your restraint shows them they can't pull you into the emotional mud. That's what Stoics understood. Emotional control is not suppression, it's sovereignty. When you react, you're letting the world puppet your emotions. When you respond, you're holding the strings. Here's what changes when you commit to responding. You become harder to manipulate. People can't control someone who controls themselves. You make better decisions. A calm mind sees opportunities a chaotic mind misses. You stop wasting energy. Not every battle deserves your presence. Not every comment deserves your voice. Not every situation deserves your peace. You gain respect. People trust the quiet strength of someone who isn't easily shaken. The Stoic tool for mastering this is simple but powerful. The Stoic 3-second rule. When you feel a reaction rising, anger, defensiveness, fear, the urge to argue, pause for 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? What story am I telling myself? What response aligns with who I'm becoming? 3 seconds. That's all you need to choose dignity over chaos, clarity over impulse, direction over drama. Because here's the truth. Most of the storms you face are not in the world. They're in your mind. But when you respond instead of react, the storm settles. your thinking clears, your power returns, and you begin to walk with a calmness that others can feel, even before you speak. This is the second foundation of living as if everything works out for you. You move from instinct to intention, from panic to presence, from reactivity to real power. I own my response. Nothing pulls me off center. Truth 3. You trust the process. More than the outcome. Most people live in a constant negotiation with the future. They obsess over what might happen, fear what could go wrong, and try to control outcomes that were never theirs to hold in the first place. And that obsession, trying to predict, push, force, guarantee, creates a kind of inner exhaustion that makes every setback feel like a catastrophe. But when you begin living as if everything always works out for you, you shift your focus from results to rhythm, from timelines to trajectory, from control to consistency. You stop needing the outcome to cooperate in order to stay grounded. That's the Stoic way. The Stoics didn't pray for success. They prayed for clarity, discipline, and strength to do the right thing regardless of the result. They understood that the moment you attach your worth, your peace, or your identity to a specific outcome, you surrender your power. Because outcomes are unstable. Processes are not. Think about your own life for a moment. Every time you tie your happiness to something outside your control, a person, a job offer, a number in your bank account, you become fragile. Every delay shook you. Every no crushed you. Every setback made you question yourself. But every time you focus on the process, your actions, your discipline, your effort, your stability returns. Not because life suddenly became easier, but because you move the center of gravity inward. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you." He's saying, the outcome doesn't decide your strength, your process does. What you carry inside determines how you meet whatever comes next. When you trust the process, something subtle but powerful begins to happen. You stop rushing, you stop forcing, you stop panicking, you stop trying to leap ahead of your own growth. Instead, you show up, you act, you refine, you learn, you adapt, you stay in motion. And progress, even slow progress, becomes inevitable. Consider any meaningful transformation, building a business, healing from heartbreak, mastering a skill, rebuilding your life, becoming mentally stronger. None of these come with instant results. All of them demand repeated action, small steps, and consistent effort long before the outcome appears. The process builds you. The outcome simply reveals what you've become. When you live with this mindset, setbacks don't feel like failure anymore. They feel like feedback. Delays don't feel like punishment. They feel like redirection. Uncertainty doesn't feel like danger. It feels like part of the journey. And suddenly, life stops being a test you're afraid of failing and becomes a path you're willing to walk. Here's the Stoic exercise for this truth. The process loop. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by uncertainty, identify what's in your control. Your effort, your habits, your discipline, your attitude. Commit to one repeatable action, something you can do daily, regardless of how you feel. Release your grip on the result, not because you don't care, but because caring too much too early destroys clarity. This is how calm, grounded, unstoppable people operate, not by predicting the future, but by preparing themselves to meet it. You trust the process because you trust yourself. You trust your discipline. You trust your ability to choose the right thing again and again, even when no one claps, even when no reward is guaranteed, even when it feels slow. And that's what living as if everything works out really means. You act like someone who knows that consistency compounds, identity shapes destiny, and the person you become is far more powerful than the outcome you're chasing. The process builds me. The outcome will follow. Truth 4. You read challenges as invitations. Most people see challenges as warnings, signs to stop, signs that something is wrong, signs that life is closing in on them. But when you begin living as if everything always works out for you, challenges shift from obstacles to invitations, invitations to rise, to expand, to evolve into someone stronger than you were yesterday. This is one of the deepest Stoic transformations. A challenge is not a threat. A challenge is a teacher. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." He wasn't being poetic. He was describing a truth that every resilient human eventually discovers. Life grows you through difficulty. Life sharpens you through friction. Life tests you not to break you, but to reveal your hidden capacity. Think about the hardest moments of your life, the ones you feared you wouldn't survive. Did they destroy you, or did they shape you? Did they ruin your direction, or did they redirect you? Looking back, you can probably see it clearly. The pain pushed you, the setback humbled you, the uncertainty forced you to grow in ways you never would have chosen voluntarily. But at the moment, it didn't feel like growth. It felt like loss, chaos, rejection, disappointment. That's the nature of challenges. They come disguised as problems, but they carry the seeds of transformation. When you live with the mindset that everything works out, you start meeting challenges with a different posture. Not as someone under attack, but as someone being refined. Not as someone unlucky, but as someone being called into a new version of themselves. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That question alone changes everything, because fear interprets challenges as danger. Ego interprets challenges as insults. Impatience interprets challenges as delays. But wisdom interprets challenges as invitations. Invitations to grow stronger. Invitations to clarify your values. Invitations to become more disciplined, more patient, more courageous, more self-controlled. Here's the truth. If you want a life with no challenges, you are secretly asking for a life with no growth, no depth, no wisdom, no strength. The Stoics didn't pray for an easy life. They prayed for the strength to meet a difficult one with dignity. So how do you actually turn challenges into invitations in real time, when emotions are high and everything feels overwhelming? You use the Stoic Reframe Journal, a 3-line practice that changes how you interpret adversity. Line 1, here's what happened. Write the event as neutrally as possible. No drama, just facts. This breaks emotional spiraling. Line 2, here's the meaning I usually give it. Call out the fear story. I'm failing, I'm rejected, I'm unlucky. Awareness dissolves illusion. Line 3, here's the invitation inside this challenge. A chance to practice patience, a chance to set boundaries, a chance to grow mentally, a chance to build resilience, a chance to shift direction. Just identifying the invitation already softens the fear and strengthens your clarity. When you start seeing life this way, something incredible happens. You stop resisting every difficulty like it's a threat. You stop panicking every time something goes off plan. You stop assuming you're being punished. Instead, you begin to trust the deeper intelligence behind discomfort. You begin to trust your ability to turn pressure into purpose. You begin to trust that life isn't closing on you, it's calling you upward. This is the mindset of someone who moves through the world with quiet confidence. Not because everything is easy, but because every challenge is usable. This isn't going to stop me, it's happening to shape me. Truth 5. You let go of the timeline. One of the most exhausting pressures in modern life is the belief that you must be somewhere else by now. More successful, more healed, more stable, more accomplished. You look around and it feels like everyone is ahead of you, moving faster, achieving more, figuring life out quicker. And that comparison becomes a silent poison, draining your confidence, distorting your judgment, and convincing you that you're behind. But here's the truth. You're not behind. You're on your timeline, and your timeline is not supposed to look like anyone else's. When you start living as if everything always works out for you, you stop measuring your progress by how quickly things happen. You stop rushing. You stop forcing outcomes. You stop trying to bend time to your will. Instead, you develop something the Stoics considered a superpower: patient discipline. Seneca said, "Time discovers truth." He meant that everything has its season: growth, change, clarity, opportunity, healing. And forcing any of it to happen faster never creates better results. It only creates more frustration. Think about it. Some lessons require years, not days. Some relationships need to fade before better ones arrive. Some opportunities need the version of you that still needs to be built. Some goals demand maturity, wisdom, emotional strength, and inner alignment, qualities that can't be rushed. When you cling to your ideal timeline, you create resistance. When you release it, life has room to unfold. Letting go of the timeline does not mean giving up. It means giving up the illusion that forcing life makes it better. It means showing up with consistency instead of desperation. It means trusting the pacing of your own growth. This shift creates a profound inner calm because suddenly you're no longer fighting time. You're flowing with it. Here's what changes when you truly let go. 1. You stop comparing your journey. Comparison dissolves when you realize everyone's path is custom-built for who they're becoming. 2. You stop rushing the process. You give your efforts time to compound. 3. You stop panicking when things take longer. Patience becomes proof of maturity, not a sign of stagnation. 4. You become more present. The moment in front of you becomes enough, not something to sprint through. 5. You build deeper confidence, because your identity stops depending on finishing fast and starts depending on showing up fully. This is how truly grounded people move. Slow when needed, decisive when necessary, aligned at all times. Here's your Stoic practice for this truth. The timeline release ritual whenever you feel pressure, envy, or the urge to rush. Step 1. Identify the expectation. What did I think should have happened by now? Step 2. Identify the emotion it creates: frustration, insecurity, fear, urgency. Step 3. Release the timeline. Say to yourself, I don't need it to happen now. I need to become the person ready for it. Step 4. Return to the process. Focus on the next action, not the final outcome. Doing this consistently rewires your relationship with time itself. You stop being a prisoner of should be by now and become someone who trusts the natural unfolding of your life. Because here's the reality. If something is meant for you, rushing won't make it come faster. And if something isn't aligned for you, forcing it will only break you sooner. Living as if everything works out means believing that the right things arrive when you're ready, and the wrong things fall away when you're growing. This is how peace returns. This is how clarity emerges. This is how your life starts moving at the speed of alignment instead of anxiety. I don't rush. I will align. Truth 6. You choose meaning over fear. There is a moment in every difficult situation where your mind tries to decide what the experience means, and in that split second, two voices compete. One voice says, "This is bad. This is a sign something's wrong. This is proof you're failing." That's the voice of fear. The other voice is quieter, calmer, deeper. It says, "There's something here for me, something to learn, something to strengthen, something to understand." That's the voice of meaning. Most people don't even realize they have a choice between the two. They let fear assign the meaning automatically. They let fear interpret challenges as threats, failures as identity, rejection as unworthiness, delays as doom. Fear doesn't just talk, it colors everything. But when you start living as if everything always works out for you, you reclaim that choice. You stop letting fear be the narrator. You become the one who decides what an experience means. And that single decision, meaning over fear, changes the emotional outcome of every hardship you face. Stoicism teaches that events are neutral. Humans assign meaning. There is no devastating event until your mind declares it so. There is no ruined future until your imagination paints it that way. There is no failure until you label it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." He wasn't asking you to deny reality. He was revealing something more radical. Your interpretation matters more than the event itself. Two people can face the same setback. One collapses, the other evolves. The difference is the meaning they choose. Choosing meaning over fear doesn't make life less difficult. It makes you less fragile. Think about a time you were rejected. Fear said, "You're not good enough." But meaning might say, "This wasn't aligned for you." Think of a moment something ended. Fear said, "You're losing everything." Meaning said, "You're being redirected." Think of a time you failed. Fear said, "This proves you're incapable." Meaning said, "This is how mastery is built." When you shift to meaning, disappointment becomes data, pain becomes insight, and obstacles become instructions. This doesn't make you naive. It makes you powerful. Fear reacts. Meaning interprets. Fear shortens your vision. Meaning widens it. Fear collapses potential. Meaning expands it. Here's the Stoic strategy for choosing meaning in the moment, the meaning shift practice. Whenever something difficult happens, pause and ask, 1. What fear is trying to say right now? Name the negative meaning your mind is generating. Awareness breaks the spell. 2. What deeper meaning could I choose instead? Look for the lesson, the development, the redirection, the strengthening. 3. Which meaning makes me stronger? This anchors you in your values, not your fears. Meaning isn't about pretending everything is good. It's about asking, how can this serve me? What is this shaping in me? What truth is this revealing? Over time, this becomes instinct. You start automatically searching for purpose instead of panic, wisdom instead of worry, growth instead of collapse. And that's when your entire reality begins to shift. You stop seeing life as hostile and start seeing it as a conversation, one that is constantly teaching, redirecting, refining, and preparing you. This is the core of living as if everything works out. Not because the world gives you only good things, but because you extract meaning from every experience. I choose meaning. Fear doesn't get the final word. Ritual, living as if everything works out. By the time you reach this final truth, something inside you has already shifted. You're no longer asking, will things work out? You're starting to live as the kind of person who knows how to make things work out. But knowing the philosophy isn't the same as embodying it. Identity is built through repetition, and repetition requires a ritual. This 7-day practice is designed to retrain your nervous system, your expectations, your inner dialogue, and your emotional posture. It teaches your body what your mind is finally beginning to believe, that life moves in your favor when you stop moving in fear. You will not become unshakable in one day, but in 7 days, you will feel the ground beneath you settle. You will feel your reactions slow. You will feel your clarity sharpen, and you will feel, maybe for the first time in years, that you are in partnership with life, not in conflict with it. Here is the 7-day as-if ritual. Day 1, replace. Worst case with neutral case. Your brain is wired for threat. That's why your mind jumps automatically to the worst case scenario. Not because it's true, but because it's a survival reflex. Today, every time your mind spirals, what if this goes wrong? What if I fail? What if they leave? Pause, and replace it with the neutral case. Maybe it won't be perfect, but maybe it will simply be okay. Neutral doesn't lie to you. Neutral stabilizes you, and stability is the soil where confidence grows. Day 2, Stoic breathing. Under pressure. Pressure is when people abandon themselves. It's when they react instead of respond, rush instead of think, panic instead of choose. Today, anytime you feel tension, a deadline, a conflict, a confrontation, a moment of uncertainty, take one slow breath before you act. One breath is the difference between instinct and intention. One breath is the pause that leaders, warriors, and thinkers rely on. One breath tells your body, I am safe, I am steady, I am present. Day 3, affirmation. Morning. Your mind wakes up in a state of suggestibility. In the first minutes of the day, you can either let fear grab the steering wheel, or you can train your direction consciously. Stand tall, breathe deep, and say this out loud. Everything works out for me because I stay in control. Say it with conviction. Say it until your posture changes. Identity is not built by hope. It's built by repetitive declaration. Day 4, pattern. Emotion. Emotions lie. Patterns don't. Today, don't respond based on how you feel. Respond based on what the pattern shows you. Ask yourself, what have my habits been telling me? What does their behavior consistently reveal? What do the results of my choices show? This trains you to see clearly, not emotionally. Clarity is always stronger than intensity. Challenge. Training. Anything that frustrates you today becomes training. Traffic is training. Annoying messages are training. Unexpected setbacks are training. Difficult people are training. Instead of resisting challenges, fold them into your development. Say to yourself, this is strengthening me. The moment you adopt this frame, pressure loses its teeth. Day 6. Slow day practice. Rush is the child of fear. Slowness is the expression of inner safety. Today, slow down your steps, your speech, your eating, your reactions. Move with deliberate calm, not because life is easy, but because you carry yourself as someone who trusts the pacing of their path. Slowness signals to your mind. There is no threat. There is no emergency. I move at the speed of clarity. Day 7, full as if. Embodiment. Today, you become the identity. You walk like someone who trusts the timing. You speak like someone who isn't easily shaken. You breathe like someone who knows panic solves nothing. You act like someone who expects things to unfold in alignment. No rushing, no spiraling, no overthinking. Just quiet certainty. This is the day you feel it, not as an idea, but as a presence inside you. Life works for me because I work on myself. If you've reached this point, then you already feel the shift inside you. Today, we uncovered 6 powerful Stoic truths. You assume everything is figure-outable. You respond instead of react. You trust the process more than the outcome. You read challenges as invitations. You let go of the timeline, and you choose meaning over fear. These aren't just ideas. They're the foundation of a new identity. The identity of someone who moves through life with steadiness, clarity, and quiet certainty. Because in the end, Stoicism isn't about believing the world will always cooperate. It's about becoming the kind of person who always finds a way, no matter what the world brings. So here's my encouragement to you. Take the 7-day ritual seriously. Practice it. Live it. Let it reshape the way you breathe, the way you respond, the way you carry yourself through uncertainty. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this message spoke to you, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Everything works out for me.